All right, class. So today we are going to review what we did yesterday and then move on to midpoint and endpoint, which I think you're going to find super duper easy. Okay. So let's do number 9. By request, we're going to do number 9 together. Okay. So number 9 needs to be completed. So we need to make sure we do number 9 together. I'm going to try to do it in this little space right here. I'm going to try to do it in this little space right here. If it doesn't work out, then I'll get another piece of paper or I'll do it over here to the side. Okay. All right. So this is a right triangle. Remember, we talked about being able to find the missing measurement or missing length of a right triangle by using Pythagorean theorem. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and write out the formula for Pythagorean theorem. Okay. Where your A and B are going to be your legs that form the right triangle. So this is going to be my legs here because these two side lengths form this right angle. So this can be A or B. This could be A or B. I'm going to name this A and this B. The side that's opposite of the right angle is always going to be C. This is the slanted side. So if I turn this like the way I'm supposed to look at it, I can see that this is my slanted side here. Because if this is my right angle, this is the slanted side. Even though it doesn't look like it's slanted, it's the slanted line. Okay? Any questions so far before I start substituting values? Please make sure that you have your calculator, okay? All right, so now we are going to substitute these values into the Pythagorean theorem formula. So we got A is 7, so this is 7 squared plus B is 10, so that's 10 squared is equal to C squared. Due to the lack of space, I'm going to do all of this in one step instead of the two separate steps. And I'm going to say 7 squared, in my calculator, 7 squared plus 10 squared. That's how I typed it in my calculator. And press enter. And I'm going to get 149. So I'm going to put 149 here is equal to C squared. Okay. Now, in order to solve for C, we have to get rid of the squared. So C is by itself. The opposite of squaring a number is to do the square root. So we're going to find the square root on both sides. Okay. So I'm going to do the square root of 149. So square root 149 is equal to, and we're going to round to the nearest tenth place because that's what it says up here, is 12.2. So my C is about, squiggly lines, 12.2. Any questions about that? And I'll pause for the call so you can write. All right, let's go ahead and take notes. We're moving to our next page. The last page we did was on Pythagorean theorem. That was page 5. So now we're moving on to page 6. Okay, we're doing page 6. All right, get this out my way. So we're going to label this. We got page 6. Again, Q3 because it's quarter 3. The title of this page is going to be Finding Midpoint and Endpoint of a line segment. Oops. Okay. All right. So first thing that we need to know is what a line segment is. A line segment has 2 end points. It's a part of a line, a part of a line. Because remember, by definition, a line continues without end in opposite directions. Well, when you say segment, a segment of something, it's a fraction of something. Okay? So a line segment is a part of a line. Semicolon. It has two endpoints. Okay? It's a part of a line and it has two endpoints. Okay? So it looks like this. This is a line segment. This continues on and on forever and ever is a line. That's the difference. One stops because it has two endpoints. This is an endpoint, and this is an endpoint. And the other just continues without end in both directions. Questions, comments, or concerns? All right, finding the midpoint is finding the point that is in the middle of the line segment. So it's the halfway point. So your midpoint cuts the line into two halves. This is your midpoint. Simple enough, right? So your midpoint is the point that cuts a line segment in half. And I'll put ordered pair. That cuts the line segment in half. Okay. And I'll pause for the calls. All right, so the formula, we're going to write the formula for finding the midpoint. Midpoint formula. Your midpoint formula is going to be where you take the x values of the endpoints. So you got your x1 plus your x2, sorry. And you're going to find the average of them. So add the two x's together of the endpoints and divide by 2. That's going to be your x coordinate. Then you're going to take the y values of your endpoints, add them together, and divide by 2. That's going to be your y coordinate for your midpoint. And this is how you find the midpoint. Now we're going to do an example. Okay, very simple. Okay. We are going to find the midpoint between -3 and 5 and +4, +4 and -4. Okay. We are going to find the point that's in the middle. These are our two endpoints. We're finding the point that's in the middle. First things first, label. So we got this is our first point, x1, y1. Our second point, x2, y2. Any questions so far? And I'll pause for the calls to give you a chance to write and think. Okay, so now we're going to use the midpoint formula to find the middle point between these 2 points. So let's do it. Okay, so we're going to take the x's and add the x's together. This is -3 plus 4, then divide by 2. Then we're going to take the y's and add them together. This is 5 plus -4 and divide by 2. Okay. So this is going to be, our midpoint is going to be, here when we add this together, this gives me 1/2. And over here, when we add this and simplify this, this also is going to give me 1/2. This is going to be my answer. This is my midpoint. This is the point that's in the middle between these 2 points. And I'll pause for the calls.